Filipinos love their ube. It's that vibrant, sexy, strikingly purple-colored yam that's often used in rich, decadent desserts. But what is ube? Why do Filipinos love it so much?
Ube is an amazing root crop. It is prehistoric. It has been cultivated and grown in the Philippines even before there was any Western contact. We have been eating it as a source of carbohydrate, starch, an energy food, even before we started eating rice. We know that 10,000 years ago, it was already being cultivated in New Guinea, and that possibly from there, it moved upwards into our part of the world. Ube is healthy. It's one of those colored fruits. Nowadays, we want to eat as many colors as we can. We want all the colors on our plate. And ube provides the purple in the same way that you would have blueberries and purple potatoes and purple sweet potatoes, or maybe beets. What makes ube's color is the same thing that makes all the other blue and purple botanicals purple. It's the anthocyanin, and the anthocyanin, as we know, is rich in antioxidants.
Ube is nutty with mildly sweet taste texture. It's grittier than potato, more like a taro root and red bean paste. That's why it's perfect fit for our halo-halo.
Generally, the taste is on the Swedish side. It's a very friendly type of flavor. And so it easily slips into many kinds of savory as well as sweetish preparations. We have recipes stretching back into the colonial era, and we used it to make a sweet paste. We called it halea, like a jam, very thick. And once you had this thick jam, sort of like a mashed potato, but sweet, you could eat it by the spoonful. So it was something like a dessert to end your meal. Or you could take this nice, sweet, purplish halea, and you could put it in tiny little pastries.
Halaya has become a popular base of many Filipino desserts like ice cream, cakes, and cookies. But since the preparation of ube halaya is long and tedious, bottled ube halaya has been a delicious and conventional treat, the most popular of which can be found in a nun's convent in Baguio, a mountain city tucked north of Manila.
They call our ube jam the iconic ube jam of Baguio. It has become an icon product of Baguio besides the strawberry jam, which was started in 1953 to support the mission, because 1952-53 was only 7 years after the war. And we had many girls, orphans, Americans, children who needed protection. And we had no means of support. So the sisters started thinking of a livelihood to sustain the mission. In 1976, Sister Fidelis Atienza started making ube jam. It has been the bestseller since 1976.
The Mountain Maid Training Center, the makers of the iconic ube jam, has benefited 1,250 students since the 1980s. But it did not stop there. Aside from being a social enterprise, it also started practicing fair trade arrangement with its farmer suppliers, making it a sustainable and resilient business model.
We are not only supporting the student workers in their studies, we are also supporting our farmer partners so that the farmer producers get fair trade.
Another ube business that's built around the mission of benefiting farmers and communities is a powder manufacturer that has chosen to trade with farmers in the indigenous Aita community.
Forturo Foods Manufacturing was founded with the mission to help and elevate Filipino agricultural products as well as to uplift Filipino farmers. We buy raw produce directly from Filipino farmers all over the Philippines, and we produce this into natural powders using the spray drying method, our own technology. We started producing ube powder back in 2019, and we were initially sourcing our raw ubes from Nueva Vizcayan farmers. We then found out about the plight of the Aita community, wherein they usually have oversupplied crops of ube. So we have decided to actually source majority of our ube crops from the Aita community here in Pampanga.
Ang ubi po, yan po yung pinaka-importanting produkto namin po dito sa bundok. Saan po kayo magtanong dito, yung pong ubi, hindi nila po binibitawan. Dahil lagi po nilang itinitinda. Kapag nagtinda po sila, meron pa po silang madadatnan sa bahay. Pag umagos po, magluluto po kami.
Namulat ako sa nanay ko na mula bata kami, tinatanim niya ube. Ang ube, walang abono, walang gamot, wala kang gagamitin na magastos sa kanya. Basta itanim mo lang sa lupa at saka lilinisin mo lang para hindi maanuan ng damo. Ito ang bunga ng ube na tinatanim namin. Ito ang nasa lupa, ito ang kanyang bunga. Itong buwan ng April, pwede na namin itanim ang mga ube. So, 8 months siyang intayin bago aniin. November aaniin dahil siyang maal na pagbentahan.
November and December are the peak harvest months for ube, as it is expected to grace many Filipino tables in time for the holidays. No Filipino celebration is complete without enjoying ube on the table.
Fiesta in the Philippines is incomplete if it doesn't have ube halea, it doesn't have makapunuan, it doesn't have leche flan. Those three come together. They're signatures for many Philippine fiestas.
I'm from Pampanga, and ube has been a part of our food culture as Kapampangans. Every Christmas, we have been making kilos and kilos of ube halaya. In fact, it has been part of our heirloom recipes to make sure that we come up with ube halaya during holidays. It's important for every Filipino to celebrate the tradition of doing ube food dishes and bringing it to the global perspective.
Ube is a current food trend because of its striking purple color, its taste, and the multiple ways it can jazz up one's dessert experience. But for Filipinos, ube is not just a trend. It's always been part of our palate, our families, our tradition, and our culture. This year, we're thrilled to present the ube for the first time in Germany, initially in Bonn in June, and eventually around the other parts of the country. It will be amazing to see how German creativity can incorporate this purple ingredient in the dishes, drinks, and treats that Germans love to eat and enjoy.
Ube has indeed come a long way from being our ancestors' humble energy food to a cultural staple served and enjoyed in every Filipino home, and now as a delectable food sensation waiting to grab the world's attention. Try and swoon over this delightful treat, the incomparable ube, all the way from the Philippines, the purple sensation taking root in everyone's heart.